Did you know in production you can change a single sounding note like this into a complex sound like this? Using just MIDI FX. It's a very easy process that you can do using MIDI FX, and you can create some very massive sounding and creative sounding tunes out of just using these MIDI FXs. And if you don't know how to bring all these things up, that's why I'm here to teach you. But before we get into the video, I'm Flojane, otherwise known as Flow of Music, and I put out a lot of music production related videos. So if that's something that you like, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So let's get into it. I already have a drum track into it, so I'm not going to play that for now. So we're going to load up one synthesizer. You can pick anything for that matter. I'm going to put ES2 synthesizer, and I'm going to just record one note. Okay, I'm just going to input this one note. So you can even double click and create a MIDI region and just do this. And then press Shift R, and then that just comes up. So I'm going to place this over here as my starting note. Let's just extend this. Bring the note all the way to the end. This is what we have. I think I need... Okay, I'm just going to keep this for now. Now, this is what we are dealing with. That's just a single sound, not sounding great. We're going to add different MIDI effects one by one. I'm going to tell you what that effect is going to do, and we're going to have a practical discussion on this. The first one that we're going to apply is chord trigger. So you can go over here to MIDI FX and select chord trigger. Chord trigger basically takes one note as an input and gives you 3 notes as an output. So it basically gives you a chord using just one note. So for example, so you get just 3 notes out of it when you just play one note. Probably let's start with a preset. I'm going to choose multi. Okay, but then let's try different presets. Let's choose this. I'm just going to change the note that I played. So that's my chord trigger. And then we're going to try arpeggiator, which is under, again, MIDI FX, arpeggiator. Now this is a very interesting MIDI effect because it's going to give you an arpeggiator. Basically, when you have C, E, G, for example, instead of playing those 3 notes together, you're going to alternate it. So C, E, G, E, C, E, G, something like that. The cool thing about this is that you can set the way you want those notes to sound like. You don't necessarily need, in the same velocity, all 3 notes coming back all the time. You can leave gaps, you can change the rhythm pattern, everything. So without doing anything, if I just play it, you get that. But let's create our own pattern. I'm going to select grid, and you can literally choose your own pattern. So I'm going to probably do that. Let's do alternate and let's see how that sounds. Okay. You can even change the velocity. Like for example, let's try alternating it this way. With the drums. So in that way, you can even change it into different kind of rhythm pattern. Like let's try that. Let's try all downstrokes. I think I like this. No, I think I'm gonna stick to this. So with the drums. We're gonna change the octave a bit. So underneath this, I'm gonna put transposer. And let's try changing this and let's see how it sounds. Now we're gonna add note repeater. This is going to give you like delay. So it's gonna add a couple of notes, but you can literally decide all those things. I'm gonna change this to probably 1. And let's see how it sounds. Okay, let's give it a little transpose. I think I'm going to change the pattern a little bit where we did it on that arpeggiator. Let's just, try out just having alternate patterns and nothing very fancy. This is without. I'm in a dilemma between this. Okay, let's stick to that. I'm going to add that note repeater once again. I'm just going to try a different sound. Maybe put this to 1. And change this instead of 1/8 to 1/16. Transpose, I'm a little confused. Let's try some settings. Let's try +12. I'm going to stick to just 1 note repeater, and I have a 16th note rhythmic value, transpose to 12, and I'm just putting it once. Because if I put a lot, that's just becoming too much and it becomes complex. I'm just sticking to. Next, I'm going to add scripter. This is a very exciting tool. I am going to select a preset which is MIDI to plugin parameters, and I'm also going to parallelly open my ES2 synthesizer. You can actually automate your modulation wheel on your MIDI according to whatever knobs you want to move. So totally through scripter you can move 4 kinds of knobs at the same time. Like for example, I can just choose learn plugin parameter in target 1 and click on any knob. Like for example, I click that. Now if you see, that's happening, and that's happening through, I don't think you can see it through the camera, but there's a modulation wheel on my MIDI and I'm just moving that up and down and that just moves. Now let's say I want to have another parameter to be moved the same way. You change this from target to choose learn parameter and choose something else. So I'm going to click that. Now both the wheels move together. So you can choose up to 4 parameters, I believe, at the same time, and they all move together. So I'm going to move them for now and let's see how that affects the sound. So it does create some kind of an effect. So I'm going to change this. Maybe I want this particular knob to move only till there. So I'm going to keep my maximum to this. So let's see till where. See? So that's where till it moves. So I'm at the maxed out position of my modulation wheel, but then here in the knob, it's still, not all the way to the right. It's just close by. So, and the minimum I want to, maybe I just want it a tad bit lesser, a little bit more, and my minimum needs to be somewhere there. Let's move this around first and we'll understand how that impacts the sound. I am going to move that as well. So I'm going to choose learn plugin mode and I'm going to choose that, but my maximum has to be somewhere till that. So I'm going to keep that probably till there, and this maybe from here. So let's listen to this. Okay, so I think this is maxed out. That sounds good, right? So you can literally change it through the mod wheel. I'm gonna give modulator and let's just see what happens when you add that. This kind of gives you a little bit more added modulation apart from what you've already added through scripter and through everything else. Basically gives you some kind of movement. So this is what it actually sounds like, right? I'm gonna put a preset. Let's try gliding grace note. You see those changes, that small pitch change and stuff? That's what you can get through this. I'm going to see if I can get an interesting sound out of this. Okay, I changed the note repetition a little bit so that I get both the lower octave and the higher octave at the same time. And then I used ramp down modulation to get a tiny bit of modulation. This is without the modulator. Let's try adding a little bit of effects on it, like the normal audio effects that we put. I'm going to use a delay. All right, we have tape delay. I'm going to keep the feedback like that. Let's change it a bit and let's see how that affects. I want some reverb to it. I'm going to add maybe chroma verb. And then I'm going to choose a preset. Let's just choose that. Let's see how it sounds. can just duplicate this on another track, but probably here I want a different kind of and then on the second track, I'm gonna apply the stereo spread plugin. So just listen to this. This is what we initially had without any of these MIDI effects. And it sounds super annoying, but with all of these effects, so that's all I wanted to share about MIDI effects. We didn't try everything, but we tried a lot of effects that I usually use just to make some experimental music. And if you found this useful, don't forget to comment. And if you have any other MIDI effects that really inspires you, that you always use, tell us that particular MIDI effects and how you get to use it so that we can all grow as a community. Thank you so much for watching. Never stop learning. Keep making music, and I'll see you guys in the next video.